understood. And we're live. Greetings, everyone. It's Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of your middle class millionaires. We're back again for another study hall of the Eric Worre GoPro book. Yes, as you can see, I run a daycare. I say it on every video. I do run a daycare, but I also get involved in online, network, internet, all those kind of marketings, all different types, making money online, all that good stuff. Making money from home, expanding from your solopreneurship to getting to everything. This running your business, whether you inside of a business or not, you fail to realize that you are a business, right? So most people failing to realize that they are a business. I mean, I felt like I was a great business as a I don't know too many people who could say that any job I interviewed for, I was offered the job by the end of the interview. So I felt pretty good about that. So you guys, you are a business. And that's why I knew I was going to be good at what I do or whatever I decided to go into, because even jobs you're not qualified for, you get offered the job. So I'm about you Inc., the business of yourself. And also, you got to be in business to be able to help others as well. So there you go, folks. Like I told you, like something. Okay, I thought that was from the baby. So I am Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron. Like I said, don't be intimidated by the preschool you see in the background. They're in adult education and in children education, of course. That's what I specialize in. So I'm just trying to find a way to expand, help others who are on the trail to being a better them and recognizing that they are their own enterprise and business. That way you could pursue your passions, right? About getting that freedom and also helping those who felt like they under the gun, under the right, whatever you want to call it. Guess what? You have a way out. You have a skill that everyone is looking for, whether it be presenting, singing, dancing, whatever it is you do, cooking, cleaning. You do something very well that you do not need to depend solely on your 9 to 5. Because the 9 to 5 is not designed for you to make what you deserve. Which we say here at the Middle Class Millionaire that you should all become millionaires. Everyone should be a millionaire because millionaire status will be the new middle class. And everybody gonna be striving for billions, right? But let's get right into this week's study hall. We've been in chapter 5 for a couple weeks now because chapter 5 is the bread and butter of this book. I'm talking about chapter 5. There's so much information in chapter 5. And it was talking about, it's based around in the skill number 2 of the 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. Guess what? I keep on telling you, don't worry about the network marketing part. Worry about networking. Networking is a skill. Networking is a skill that you all are going to need. Everyone needs it in their life. They're going to need it. Everyone needs to know how to network, right? How to network properly. Online, offline, face-to-face, all that good stuff. Over the phone. This is how the Grant Cardones and the Gary Vaynerchuks and the Eric Thomases, this is how they get things done. This is how a 14-year-old child, 14 years old, Caleb Maddox, this is how he could go to Fortune 1000 companies and demand $10,000. 14 years old. He comes speak at a company for an hour or less and get $10,000. So that lets you know it's time to unlock your potential. There's many ways that you can add value to all aspects. So learning how to network is what young Caleb Maddox learned how to do, and that's why he could demand $10,000 for a speaking engagement. Imagine what you could do if you found out what your passion is. He found it at 14. It don't matter if you're 84, 44, or 14. It's time, folks. So as we get into Eric Worre GoPro, everyone see the book. We're on chapter 5. If you don't have it, guess what? You could go to Aaron Johnson. I don't know if someone could type it in there. You go to aaronjohnson.info Nope, free.aaronjohnson.info, I believe. I believe that's what it is. Or is it 4ajohnson.info? It's one of those. I told people last week what it was. You could get the Eric Ward, you could get this book. You could get the ebook for free. You can get chapter 5 for free. You can get the audio book for free. I talked to Eric Warrior already. Spoke with him on Facebook. We're trying to get something that we could get an interview so he could talk to you guys directly. So, without further ado, like I said, you can hook up with me on all social media. You might see me down as Middle Class Millie, or you just type in Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron. You can find a way to get in touch with me. Facebook, Aaron Johnson, all that good stuff. So here in chapter 5, we're covering today the eight steps. 8 steps to go on what? 8 steps to a professional invitation. 8 steps to professional invitation. You could rework this information. This is just a guideline, brothers and sisters, a guideline to how you're going to do what? How you're going to network better with people. This is just a guideline. It's not set in stone. It's not set in stone. You don't have to be inviting people to see an opportunity, but you are networking with people that you're trying to get an influence with or influence from. You're trying to get some reciprocating relationships. You go here, right? I'm going to say the 8 steps real fast, and I'm going to go through each one, highlighted through the book. And number 1 was be in a hurry. You know, I normally be in a hurry when I get on these. I say, guess what? I just had a baby. I got to get out of here because my feeding coming up. It's already 12:18. I got to go feed the baby, right? You already know that. I have 3 children. The youngest one just hit over a month. My wife would say, well, he's about to be 7 weeks now. So she would say 6 weeks. I would just say a month. So here we go. Be in a hurry. Compliment the prospect. Make the invitation. If I would you is step 4. Step 5, confirmation number 1. Get the time commitment. Step 6, confirmation number 2. Get the confirm the time commitment. Step 7, confirmation number 3. Schedule the next call. This is getting them set up for the next exposure. And step number 8, get off the phone. Leave their presence, do what you gotta do. You know, you break away, you end the conversation. Don't talk yourselves into the hole, right? So, step number 1. Step number 1. If you're participating in reading, just going along, highlight this or type it in. Type it in the comments. Step number 1: be in a hurry. So it's saying be in a hurry. This is something that they do to you when they advertise on TV. Oh, it's just going to be 3 easy payments of $39.99. But for the people who order the next 10 minutes, we're going to knock off 1 payment. This is kind of like what you're doing when you're networking with someone, when you're bringing them to an opportunity or you're introducing them into something else. You be in a hurry. You're like, hey, you don't want to be desperate. You don't need them, right? So that's why they're saying be in a hurry. Be as if you don't need them. You don't need the people there. So it's like you already have it, and then you presenting them the opportunity. Because if they think it's always going to be there, guess what? They're going to be late. So just a little quick of being in a hurry. I told my friends last year when my son turned 4, when my other son, my second child, when he turned 4, I said, guess what? Over the next 4 years, I'm gonna find a way to get $1 million cash. And when I started posting my results of the opportunity I was in, nobody was paying attention. But then when it came around to the next year and they saw there was over 100,000 there, they was like, whoa, how in the world did you do that? Can I get started? And they think they could come right in and get 100,000. It took me a long time to get that 100,000 online, but that's no here or there, right? So being in a hurry, now everybody that want to start up with me, they're a year behind. They're a year behind. I don't remember the baby steps. We could have did it together, but no. So that's how you gotta be in a hurry. You gotta be you got to be there. You got to be ready to move. So step number 2 is compliment the prospect. So when you're talking to them, and step number 2, compliment the prospect. Step number 1 was be in a hurry. You gotta be moving. You gotta be moving, right? Step number 2, compliment the prospect. Oh, I thank you all for being here tonight. I appreciate you guys being on this call. It is already a new day. It's 12:22 in the morning where I am. I appreciate you spending some time with me. I thank you for that. And you can hear when Napoleon Hill, when he does his presentation, he always talk about it's nice to make this personal acquaintance of you or something. He said like that. And you listen to Think and Grow Rich. He's like, oh, how do you do? You know what his voice sounds like if you really into network marketing. So you compliment the prospect. This is crucial. The sincere compliment. It must be sincere. Got to come from the heart. You can't just be making up stuff, right? So what's the next thing? Step number 3. Like I said, I'm being in a hurry tonight. I gotta get back up there to my 1 month, to my 1 month into Manny. So step number 3. Say it one more time. Step number 1, be in a hurry. Step number 2, compliment the prospect. Step number 3, you make the invitation. Hey, you guys are beautiful. Thank you for being here. You can always call me or text me to reach out to me if you have any questions about what we're talking about. But guess what? You guys can always reach out to me on my website. You go to middleclassmillionaire.pw live hangouts, right? And you can follow me on YouTube, send me a message. We can connect online or offline. Find me on Facebook. You're doing these steps. You could what they say, when you get to step 3 of making an invitation, there's multiple ways you could do it, right? So they have the direct approach, which is to say, hey, you get here to this place, blah, 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 right? Then you have the indirect approach, and you have the super indirect approach, because it's like the super indirect approach is like, hey, you just got it out there. Many people think I do the super indirect approach because why do I need to talk about what opportunity I'm in? If you do your research, you'll find out. There's no need. So people gotta go look for it and like, oh, that's what he into. I don't need to talk about my opportunity on these calls because this is for training purposes only. And it helps myself when I go through these self-help and self-development, because the most important thing to invest in is yourself. That's what Brother Daryl Muhammad said from DarylMuhammad.net. I'll give him a shout out. He always talk about investing in yourself first. So what does he do? He buy gold. He buy books. I had the ebook and the audio book already, but I had to get the paper book. Because my daughter likes to read, but guess what? It's a big influence for my daughter to see me flipping through the pages versus me reading it on my phone, because I could be doing anything on my phone. So that sparks her love for reading, and it also helped our middle child, my son. Now he's picking up a lot of books because they see daddy holding a book, not reading on the phone. So the super indirect approach, hey, you can find out what I get into. I'm not going to really talk about it. Step 4, if I would you. If I would you. It's a question that's supposed to be the secret weapon, Eric Worre says. And he gave some examples. If I gave you a DVD, would you watch it? If I gave you a website, would you go to it? If I gave you the website, if I gave you the YouTube video to you, if I sent you a text, would you check out the YouTube video? So it's like, will you check it out? If I do blah, 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 would you do that same blah, blah, blah? The reciprocation, right? It's all about reciprocation. You just going, well, if I give you this, will you do this? Just like how a lot of network marketers do this. They do it all the time. They try it with me all the time. Like, well, hi, Aaron. We friends on Facebook. I'm inboxing you because I just signed up. I just signed up with your opportunity. Can you sign up with mine? I mean, if it's a free sign up, of course. When there's a free sign up, it doesn't hurt for me to get a free account. To get a free account once you already created a free account with me, right? It doesn't hurt. Is we trading it off. If I sign up with you, will you sign up with me in this? That should be. It should be easy. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't go on and on, because guess what? If I don't want to work it, I don't have to work it, right? Step number 5, confirmation number 1, get the time commitment. So if it's a DVD, if it's a video, if it's a presentation, or any kind of other material I have to review, you do the confirmation number 1. So remember when you asked the if I would you, now you're saying, when do you think you can watch it? Oh, today? Oh, in a couple hours? Oh, next week? You want to get that time commitment. You want to get their confirmation of when they're going to do what you asked them to do. Why? Why would you be doing that? You would be doing that because you got to set up the second confirmation, which is the time commitment. So you get the time commitment in the first confirmation about when will you watch it? When will you review the information? And then the second one is, okay, after you do that, when can I talk to you about it? You got to set that up, right? You got to be setting that. You got to be setting that up. Like, oh, you gonna watch that? That's nice. So if I called you, so if you're gonna watch it, what's today? Wednesday. If you're gonna watch it Wednesday night, can I call you on Thursday morning? So you want to get them, and then this is when you're starting to close. You're starting to close now, right? So you come right back. You're asking them in step 6. You're like, well, if I give you this, will you watch it? That's confirmation number 1. All right. So now that you have that, when when can you expect to watch it or review the information? They tell you that. Now you're talking now you're asking, all right, so at the end of confirmation number 2, you're like, well, you're gonna watch it for sure by then, and all that stuff. He always talk about the for sure in this book. For sure. So you're setting up on the third one, right? So what's the best number? You're about to close now. All right, so what's the best way to get in touch with you after you review the information so we could talk about it? Or when can we meet up? You always want to set up the next exposure, right? And then after you do that, you gotta get off the phone. You gotta get off the phone, you gotta walk away, you gotta cut. That's the end of that conversation. Even if y'all together, y'all walking somewhere else, you stop talking about it. You don't want to keep drilling it and asking the questions, because guess what? There's no way. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't know all the answers, but I know the more and more I go on. Let me help Facebook out. They're a little drifting over there. I know the more that I go on, the less people get interested, right? So that's why you try to keep it short, sweet, simple, straight to it, and be off of it. So, review, be in a hurry. Step number 1, compliment the prospect. Step number 2, make the invitation. Step number 3, if I would you. Step number 4, confirmation number 1, time commitment. Step number 5, which is you confirming that if I would you. So confirmation number 2, the time commitment, is now that you're going to do this now that you're going to watch the video or whatever, what time, what day do I expect you to do so? And then confirmation number 3, so when can I talk with you about it, right? And then step number 8 is you end it, just like I'm ending this right now. So I hope you guys got it. If you didn't get it, guess what? Go get the man book. Support this man. He's working pretty hard. Eric Worre, GoPro. Chapter 5 is really deep. I really can't explain it, This is the chapter I wanted him to get on and explain. Uh, I really can't explain it. I mean, it's so much information. It's so deep in chapter 5 of the Art Warrior Go Pro 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. And guess what? I'm very weak at these 8 steps. I'm very weak at the 8 steps. And that's why I'm in chapter 5, reading it over and over again. Sure, I would like to get the skill number 3, presenting your product or opportunity to your prospect. But step number 5 is you got to get the prospect there. You got to be able to bring the people into you. You got to be able to network with the people, having building that relationship before you can present them something else. So getting through the self presentation and then getting presenting to the skill or the product or whatever it is you're trying to get someone to pay you money for. Because it's America now, folks. And this is how the world works. Not just America, this is how the world works in general. Everything, whether it's free or not, there is a cost. And what's the cost of you for watching this stream? Share it with your friends. That's it. You share it. If you get any value from it, you go right ahead and share it. So I thank you. And I'm Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of your middle class millionaires. And I encourage you to do what? To be confident, be smart, be fruitful, and multiply. And when you start, you don't stop. You be consistent until you achieve your goals. Good night. Good morning. I'll see you on the next call tomorrow, right? When we're back to the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s of business mind training. Have a good night.